All right, let's go to episode number 7. Episode number 7 was our Innovation Monday, where we took a look at cross-industry blockchain. And the interesting aspect of this was we brought in somebody from an outside the industry. Well, actually, they do have a large aviation aerospace industry, but their first implementation of blockchain was not in aviation. The company was called Tech Mahindra, and we brought in Vivek, and he told us about the largest public blockchain that's ever been implemented, and it was a telecom implementation. What they did was they implemented a platform for do not call in India, and it was quite a while ago. It was about 5 years ago, roughly, before people were doing a lot of blockchain implementations. And so what they showed us is that there can be significant scale that can come from that. I don't remember how many users there were, but it was like 1 billion or something like that, users of the system. And then we looked at the application of ERP and loyalty and NFTs and security and the metaverse all coming together within aviation. And so how can we learn from outside of the industry to be able to do large scale deployments within aviation? We need to not just be looking at what's happening inside of our industry, but look at what people are doing outside so that we can learn how to scale and do things better and faster than what we could before. Gabe, what were your takeaways from the session?
Yeah, the scalability is huge. So blockchain has been used for scalability for a long time, and there's tech. You guys didn't really talk about this, but a part of blockchain is adding that scalability, such as using layer 2 and layer 3s. And there's a evolutionizing. There's evolution of blockchain, and through these layer 2, layer 3 solutions that provide scalability, and there will always be scalability through blockchain.
Yeah, the decentralized nature of the distributed ledger technology enables us to have wide scale deployments, not unlike how the internet grew 20 years ago at this point. So that was my key takeaway. All right, let's go to episode number 8. Keep going here today. All right, so we looked at NFT tickets and TravelX. This was really an exciting session where we brought in the company TravelX, and we looked at what is really the synergistic value that comes from NFTs, and how do we get greater value and scale by implementing them in our business. And my guest was Juan Pablo Lafosse of the company called TravelX. Now, Gabe, we really, this was really pretty an exciting session. And at the very beginning, Juan Pablo wanted me to focus on what was the core reason for doing this, not the one which was the flashy reason, which I'll come to in a minute. But he said there's really tough business problems that exist out there today. Like if you're a traveler, you know that exchanging of airline tickets is really challenging. So if you change flights or you cancel, we always have difficulty in managing of tickets. And what they did was they solved that problem by applying an NFT to the reservation system. And they created the very first NFT airline ticket is what they did. And as a result, they have a platform which is now actually in production, and it's being rolled out to different airlines and to different airline reservation systems today, where an NFT is actually being used to exchange the value and to provide liquidity of an airline ticket. And so that's really an innovative solution, which made it easier for us to be able to exchange and use the value in tickets. And this was really the very first implementation of it. And Gabe, maybe you tell people quickly, about the flashy value of it. What did they end up doing with that NFT ticket that made it really the most famous?
Well, because it was the first one ever sold, it sold for a ridiculous amount of money, $1 million.
No, it's not ridiculous. It was a it was a large amount of money. Yeah,
it's a large amount of ridiculous as in large. So the amount of money. So it was $1 million from sold in Paris, and it was attached to a painting, I believe. Is that correct?
Art.
Yeah,
right.
It's a piece of art. But
yeah,
one of my key takeaways from this is that once again, companies are trying to implement that utility and solve business cases with either NFTs or blockchain. And this is one business case where they were able to implement a utility into their NFT.
Yeah, and the value that I saw was that you create synergy by taking your existing, business problems that exist out there and attach an NFT, and the value of the scale and growth that's happening in blockchain with NFTs, they were able to create something much, much larger. And so the synergy that comes from it was my key takeaway.